Hello and welcome. I'm Shannon with Pick and Moose Vintage, and today we're going to have some fun with the Leonidas mold. I want to show you what we did last week and how I finished it up. I was going to come on live to finish it, but I had some company come up from Florida, and there just wasn't any time to do it. So let me show you what we did. Let me put my screen down real quick. So here is the box. Remember, we used the Jolly or Happy Santa by Decoupage Queen. And then we also, use the expand paste to keep his fur like 3D. It's super cute. And then I added Jolly. You guys will hear why I hand drew that with the 3D pen, but I had to let it dry before I could put the gold on. Then the rest of the paper, this is the Christmas plaid. And then inside, we painted this because it was all old and yellow and brown and yucky. But I just couldn't paint this. Now, I know it doesn't match, but it's silk. It's in good condition and it's beautiful. So I left that. So anyway, this is Jolly Santa, and this is what we worked on last Wednesday. So this Wednesday, we're going to have some fun. Now, I know all of you are familiar with Iron Orchid Designs because they have some awesome products, and this is the Leonidas mold. And actually, let me put this in. I have a link for all of them. See if that came through. I think it did. Yeah. So that's where you can buy the products. I'm calling this Will It Work Wednesday because normally I come on here and I always want to try something new. I was going to use this, the rapid resin, but it takes too long to dry for our live, so I'll have to do that another time. I'll do it in steps. So put that away. I have something else out instead. So anyway, this is what I showed in my reel earlier this morning. I had this frame, but then I cut the piece of aluminum board so it's going to fit in here perfectly. So we're going to decorate this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make different. I've cut other circles so I can pop this one out and then put a different one in depending on the season or whatever I want to do. So I really like that idea that I can, and these just will hold that in place. Now I love frames, but this is the only circle one that I have. So that's why I'm making it interchangeable. All right. Now let me just show you where I'm getting some of my inspiration from. Now, you all may have seen this. I made this door knocker as soon as the IOD release came out with the Leonidas mold. I just love him. I added the little ring, and it's super cute, right? But, I was never really fully satisfied with my design on this one. So, now looking at, like, here is a little, hey, Michaela, my first visitor. Thank you. So, here is the... it's a drawer pull. I always save my drawer pulls. And, but if you look at this one, like, this line he's like 3D. His mouth comes out and the ring is in it. Here, I didn't really do that. I had to put a little eyelet and then put here. So I don't like that. Like, I love the 3D version better. Hey, Tina. And here's another inspiration that I have. I have this. Can you tell I like lions? I have a lot of lions. So, and even him, this one is 3D, right? Hey, Luann. So, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make Leonidas 3D. So, will it work? Can I do it? Let's see. So, anyway, I just love this one, especially with his teeth, and it's holding the ring. So we're going to give it a go. And what I've decided what I might do is, because I do have the Classic Elements mold here, like if I take this one right here, that would look cute down here, and then I can always put this classic piece up top. But that might be for another day because I don't know how long this lion is going to take me. So let's put all my fun lions away. Oh, and I found this bell. And I thought maybe there'd be some way to integrate the bell. I don't know. Whatever. So we're going to start with the board. I used a jigsaw, so it's not perfect, but it does fit. It does do the job. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Pentart gesso, and we're going to mix in some of the 3D powder. What this is going to do is going to give us a beautiful texture. So when we put it on here, it's just going to give us an extra element of the texture. You guys know that I love texture. Okay, so I don't really need that much because I'm not going to be working on a big one. Questioning whether you can do it or not. Good grief. Of course you can. Well, yeah. I'm gonna try. If anyone can, it's you. Thank you. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour some of these 3D powder balls. Look, see how cute these are? It's like a little powder, but they're actually, it's like not sand. I don't know. Small pieces of plastic is what I read. But so I'm going to mix that up. And you can put in as much as you want, depending on how much texture you want. If you're in my Shannon's Creative Quarterly Kits, you've received this before and you got to play with the 3D powder. Oh, yes, I know. Don't you just love them? Way up, dude. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. That's from YouTube, so I think red is YouTube. Now, when you have this concoction, this thick texture, you can either put it on with a brush or you can put it on with a palette knife. I'm going to start with a palette knife and we're going to see how it goes. I don't want it to be too thick because I do want to make sure that I want to get as far as getting the lion on here today. So you just take some out of the cup and we are just going to kind of, but you hear that? You can hear the grit. Can you see the texture? So we're going to cover the whole piece of wood. This is just the background. And I want to make sure that I don't have like perfect lines. Oops, got some black on there somehow. Because I want it to look like it's uneven and it's kind of like stone. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, just gonna get rid of some of the lines. There we go. So my light might be a little bright for you to see this, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in front of my little fan here, and we're going to let that dry while we decorate this. Now I'm going to need your help because I don't know what color I want to do the frame, but I know it's going to have to be painted because I'm putting clay on it, and it's not going to look good if you can see the clay on the brown. Plus the brown, there's lots of chips and stuff in it. Okay, so what I'm going to use here is on the Classic Elements mold, this beaded line. And then what I want to do is I want to cast them with, and then just put them around here. So that's going to take me a hot minute. I should have probably went ahead and made some ahead of time so I could show you how to make one and then just glue them all on. But so what I found the best way to do this is roll out your clay so you're ready. I finally found my my Lazy Susan that I used to create from moving. Sometimes I don't know where everything is, but I'm almost 100% unpacked. I just have those, you know, those boxes that you're like, I'll get to them later. Yeah, well. Now, the trick about the IOD clay and them not cracking is to not stretch the clay. You want to make sure you put in plenty of clay, and then when you take it out, you don't stretch what you're making. easiest way I found to unload it is I just like to flip it over and start bending it. And then what happens is it kind of starts to plop out. And then I just gently roll it without trying to pull it. So what it's going to look like, and I'm hoping this is going to fit perfect. Oh yeah. So we're going to stick those right in there. Now look at this. See how perfect that is? It's like a little guide, so I can't even get it crooked. It's going to be perfect. Because you know me, I don't measure. So we're going to go ahead and make a few of these. Another tip for clay. Sometimes when you go back and you add clay to your mold, like maybe you didn't put enough clay in, sometimes that'll lead to cracks. But the best part about the clay is when it does dry and it cracks, what I do is I simply just add a little bit more clay, just fill it in, and you can't even tell. All right, let's roll this one out. Now, if I find that I keep using this and maybe it starts to stick, I'll just grab the, I'll just grab my, the powder. Where is it? It's right over here on my rack. It's the cornstarch. I can grab that and dust my mold with that. But so far, it's coming out okay. There we go. So any guesses on how many you think I'm going to need? Come on. I'm thinking I'm going to need 4 1/4. So I only need 2 more and a little one. Oh, you know it says hand pink waving, hand pink wave. Maybe that's just an emoji on YouTube. I don't really know because I'm watching this on my Switcher Studio and Facebook, so I don't know. All right. And this I have found is just the easiest way. Let me take my face off there. To get your clay even is just take a palette knife and swipe it clean across, because with that ridge, it does make it easier when you use this tool. All right, come on. Let me just, sometimes if you have something thin, you can just take it like this and pull it away, give it a little bit of a help, and then try it from the top. All right, here we go. All right, this one. All right, we're almost there. Okay, fill the mold, cut it back. I'm just going to kind of release it a little bit on both sides and then roll it out. Come on. There we go. Again, I'm trying to be as gentle as possible because I don't want to be, if I pull it too hard, it's kind of like stretching the clay, and I don't want to do that. Less cracks, the better. All right, so now I just need about a half of one just to fill this. But I love it already. All right. I'm hoping that's long enough. Let's see. Did I do it long enough? I did. It's even, I have a couple links that are longer, which is okay. I'm going to leave those on for right now because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue them on. And I'm leaving these on because I don't know where I'm going to cut it yet, because I want to make sure that I do have enough. So let's just put this over here. And of course, I'm going to be using the heavy body gel. Now, if you don't know yet, I do the Pentart playbook where I'm introducing and covering all the different Pentart products. So this is the heavy body gel. This is in glossy and matte. So the glossy dries clear but shiny, and the matte dries transparent or and cloudy. So be mindful of which one you choose when you use them. I highly recommend them because they glue and they stick really well. All right, where is... And I just put it on with a little bit of a palette knife. You can brush it on too. Because we're going to be painting it, it doesn't really matter which one I'm using right now. The matte was handy, so that's what I'm going to use. I definitely want to make sure I don't have any of the heavy body gel up on the sides, because that'll leave so a raised surface, and I don't need that. So this might not be the best tool to put this on. Oh, and fair warning, if you get this on your fingers, take it off immediately, because it's really hard to get off your fingers, because it's a very very strong adhesive. All right. So I'm kind of pushing the dots back together so I don't have any pull. Let's see. I'm going to use a stiff brush here, I think. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that'll be better. That way I have more control of getting it in just the line where I'm putting the clay. Oops. So generally another area where you get cracks is where you put two molds together. So where these dots are coming together, I'm going to kind of make sure I put them as close as possible so when they dry, there is not a lot of separation. Go ahead and take the rest of these off and just go ahead and add the heavy body gel to the rest. Now I'm so excited to play with Leonidas. Wait till you see what I'm going to try to do. Now I've done something like it's similar on other molds, but never with this one. Right. Again, I'm pushing them as close as I can just to try to alleviate or stop any cracking when the clay dries. Oops. Oops, I just broke that one. Okay, pushing it in. And finally, this last one. I feel like I need a little bit more glue. There we go. The nice thing about the heavy body gel is it fills in any empty void spaces that you might have. Oh, look at that. I'm so glad I didn't cut it. Because I was pushing everything together, it absolutely just fits perfect. Like I couldn't have done that again if I could have done that again if I tried. All right, so I want to do that. A, B. And that is not what. So look at that. Now you are seeing a little bit, it's not perfect because some of the glue is coming off, but it's pretty straight. It's just that the gel is giving it a different look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wipe some excess off. All right, now we're going to have to decide what color we're going to paint this. But we don't have to do that right now. We kind of want the glue to dry. Even though it doesn't have to, we can still paint it right now. You can paint the clay when it's wet. All right, I'm just going to one more time go around it and make sure. There we go. All right, so let me check on my board and see if it's drying. Yeah, here we go. It could use some more dry time, but you know what? We have to get moving. We're going to go ahead and start with this. And he just fits. So this is what I'm thinking. Where I want to raise his face, I'm going to start putting some clay here. So I want to raise first his eyes. Then I'm going to put a bigger piece on his nose. And then I'm going to put, I'm going to separate his mouth. Maybe try to put some teeth in. I don't know. We're going to see where this goes. And then a little bit more for his chin. Okay? So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck, everybody. So basically, he just fits this piece, this frame. So, but by the time I scrunch him up and make him 3D, that should change. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the parts in here. And let's see. So a little bit for his eyes. Not too much. I just want to have it where it's going to be, they're going to protrude just a little bit. Look what I have here, Luann. We think alike. I have these that I'm going to finish it in, or sometimes it's easier when you use the antiquing gels because it really does the same kind of thing. This is just putting a kit for you, so you don't have to buy all of them in the big size. So we're gonna play when it comes to that part. All right. So here's the eyes, and then the nose part is going to be a little bit thicker. Now this is just giving me a guide. This is not necessarily how big or how little he's going to be puffed up. But now I want the nose to be, because the eyes are extended, but I need the nose to be really pronounced. So got some more. And since I'm going to put this a little bit higher than the nose, because the nose is going to have to come stretch over. So do that. And then we're going to have to do a little bit for the chin. Now, we're figuring this out together. Hi, Steve from Vancouver. All right, so then we're going to do the chin. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. Let's say hey. All right, so now we're going to do this. So for the chin. So basically, that's what I'm thinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently plop this over and see if we can keep oh yeah, pretty good. So it does show his eyes. It shows, hey, Elizabeth, and his chin, because I want to put the teeth and the ring here. Now, how I made the ring last time, I just took one of these and I just took the hook off. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use a whole bunch of clay to fill this mold. So, because it is a big thick mold, and what's nice about the IOD molds, it does tell you how much you need. So you either need 118 milliliters of resin or 177 grams of clay. So I don't have a scale here handy. I mean, I do have a scale, but I don't use it because why would I want to make my life easier, right? Hey, Marie from New Jersey, and Elizabeth, welcome. Thanks for joining. We're creating, for those of you just coming in, we're going to try to create a 3D effect with our line mold and give it a ring. I made the door knocker when it first came out, but it's not the same with it not being 3D. Even the little handles on furniture are 3D, so I need to make this guy 3D. Okay. Not enough clay. I need a little bit more. This does take a lot of clay, but it'll be totally worth it when we're done. I've picked up a little bit of glitter. I was working on another project here earlier, and apparently glitter and colored flakes I didn't clean up very well. All right. I much prefer using resin in the mold, especially something this big. I get frustrated trying to squeeze all this out, like make it all level and stuff. It drives me batty. But for this and making it 3D, you kind of have to use the clay, unless of course you take the resin out early, but it still doesn't stretch very well. I guess you could use Formflex too, but that's, you know, the same as this. All right. Now I definitely want to make sure that I fill this in level because we're going to put it on over the 3D. Oh yeah, Lori, I hope it works. If not, you can always do the old flat way. I think I have a video online for how I did that. But it's not hard. I mean, you can figure it out too. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my finger around the edges. Make sure I do have a... Now I'm going to take my really long palette knife, and I'm going to try to make it as smooth and level as possible. It might take me a hot second. There we go. Now, how many of you all have the Leonidas mold? Do you love it? Yeah, a rolling pin. I know. Would be a good idea. All right. Clean up the edges. Look at my fingers. All right. Let's plop it out. Oh my gosh, he is just so gorgeous. Oop. Hi, V-Flex with Donna. Now look at how beautiful he is. Now, there are some lines and stuff here, but those are the same lines that are in my mold. So, all right, we're going to put this to the side. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. I'm going to pick this up for a second. I want to make sure the eyes go with the eyes. Yep, that just fell apart. Maybe instead of doing what I did, putting him in, I'm going to do this. Let's make it where his eyes were here. And then his nose, I'm going to make it bigger. I want it pronounced. I want it to come way out. And I'm going to have to put a little bit in here between the eyes. All right. I'll do his chin in a minute, but I really want his nose. There we go. Oh, yeah. So I'm being very careful because I really don't want it to crack, but I also really don't want to lose any of the details. So I'm going to take some water, and the water helps with the clay. There we go. Okay. So let me show you. So he's becoming 3D. See that? Now what I need to do is I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to cut. Oh boy. All right. So I'm going to cut looking at this guy here and this one here, pretty much just right underneath that part of the lion. So I'm going to take my little palette knife. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch. I'm going to pull. And now I want to put a little bit of clay underneath his chin because we want to make his chin pronounced too. Pronounced, whatever. However you say it. All right. Oh, there we go. So one thing I see here is that the nose, there's a slant here. And I don't really have that slant on this one. So it looks like he has a big puppy nose. So let's see if we can get that in. I do have some clay tools here. I don't know how to use them, so I probably shouldn't use them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some water and I'm just going to push it down. Oh boy. There we go. Ooh, all right. He's coming to life. Same thing here. I do want to make sure I'm going to get a bigger opening. I have to take some water. I'm just cleaning up the edge a little bit so it doesn't look like I used my palette knife. I don't want it to fall off because I haven't glued anything yet. What do you think? It's getting there, right? Okay, so I need to put some of... Just using regular old water in my fingers. Pushing down. Now, on both of these, you can see like some eyebrow stuff going on. Oh, thanks, Lori. I feel like because maybe I pushed a little too hard, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to roll a couple eyebrows out. If I don't like them, I can take them off. But it just gives it a little bit more, I don't know, character. It might look silly and we might take them off, but you definitely don't want them to be like mad eyebrows. We want them to be like intimidating eyebrows, but not mad eyebrows. And by no means am I an eyebrow expert. But once we get it all painted, you won't even know that I added it on. Plus some of this detail with the nose and stuff, we can always highlight with. Okay, so now instead of using my fingers, I'm using just a paintbrush, just smoothing out some lines here. Oh, I like it. Gonna try to make this a little bit more pronounced, his little like round things here on his snout. Wow. I love him. I'm going to have to add some teeth, and I'm going to have to glue it together. This is already sticking pretty good here. Oh, thanks, Lori. All right, so look. Now he's a little bit more 3D, and he looks more like this. I still want his nose to come out further, so I'm going to have to try to figure that out real quick. Let me just see if I can lift. Maybe I should put more clay under there. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it, stick some more clay up his nose, and hopefully I'll get the look I want. So again, I'm going to be using the Pentart Heavy Body Gel because this stuff will make it all stay together. So I'm going to try to pick up my lion as best I can without destroying him. I'm going to do it in parts. There we go. Ta-da. Making sure I get underneath. All right. Now I'm going to lightly push, make sure that it gets to the heavy body gel. I'm going to get some more out here. I need to get a ball of clay ready for his nose. I just feel like his nose needs to come out more. All right, so I'm going to apply some of this heavy body gel all underneath here. And I'm going to put this, and hopefully it's not too much. Oh. Now it's really 3D, and I am just loving it. Though it hasn't dried yet, so we don't know exactly where the cracks are going to be, what it's going to look like, but I'm happy so far. So let me just show you. See how much further we put it out. And I'm going to scrunch his. I think maybe we need to put a little bit more under his jawline. So I'm going to have to do this side. Some gel. Just so I feel like it's balanced, because his jawline should come out as far as his nose, or especially if we're going to put the ring in there. Oh, there we go. Oh, very nice. Okay, look at my hands. Okay, so I'm just going to take a minute and get some of this heavy body gel off. Okay, what do you guys think? I'm very happy. So next we're going to put the ring in, and then we're going to glue some teeth in so that teeth will hold the ring in place. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. Do I love him? Yes. I do see some hollow parts in his mouth. See that? So I'm going to just stick a few pieces in there with some heavy body gel, just to close that gap up. We don't want to look at that. A little bit more. And then I'll take a wet paintbrush and I'll smooth it out. Thanks, Luann. I like him too. This is just basically closing up the gap so we don't have to look in his mouth. Because looking at these ones, it's all closed. Again, I've never done this on a big lion like this before, but I think it's coming out Pretty cute. Right. Thanks, Michaela. I'm surprised you're still here. Normally you're bebopping around or out floating in your pool. Okay, let's... All right. And of course, if I did, yeah, the oral surgeon, if I happen to get rid of any of some of the details, I have these little like clay thingies that I think you draw with. So I could like draw some of the details back if I wanted. All right. Now, whoopsies. Ring. So all I have to do is I just have to pry this thing off. Two different. You can use any kind of curtain ring. I just found that was easiest. So that look. Okay, so maybe I need to make his jaw a little smaller. Let's make it a little bit more pointy. I don't have a bigger ring, so this one's going to have to do. There we go. There we go. Now the teeth. So I'm wondering if I should do individual teeth or if I should just like make a row of teeth. Making meatballs. Ooh, I'll be right over. Nothing beats homemade meatballs. I love it. Okay, so on this one, he's got a little bit of a grill and then two pointies, and then down here, same thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make... All right, so I remember playing with clay as a kid. Really haven't played with it that much as an adult other than in a mold, but it shouldn't be that hard. Let's see, here is a... Let's cut the teeth. And then the little grill. Another tooth. Well, you guys are... Thanks for bearing with me because I really, honestly, am not quite sure what I'm doing. I just knew that I wanted to make this, and I was like, well, what? Let's just do it live. Oh, yeah. So that... There we go. So there's his teeth. And if that one's too small for the top, I can put it on the bottom. But I think it's okay. I just want to take some water and smooth it out. Once I glue it on, I'll put the teeth lines in. All right, so let's put some heavy body gel there. Now the thing about heavy body gel is it works and it holds tight. It holds your stuff. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer to like actually get it to stick. So I'm just going to hold it here for a second. Ooh, that would be pretty. All right, are you going to stay there? Play nice. All right, so let me do the bottom grill real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, so most people come on and they do a project and that's it. But of course, me, I've got to make it difficult. I don't know what easy is. All right, so this one I'm going to try to make a little smaller, but along the same lines of what is above. Oh, oh. Gosh. Okay, let me smooth out my... All right. I'm hoping you guys are laughing with me. It would be kind of fun if we could actually hear each other rather than just have to have a time delay and read what others are saying. Woo! The teeth aren't as pointy as I want them to be, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the heavy body gel kind of like grab and make sure that the clay is staying on. And you know, the air dry clay takes longer to dry, so I'll be able to get these teeth pointy, but I really need them to stay in place first. Oh, thanks, Lori. Oh, look at that. And so what I'm going to do is I don't want the ring to stay in the back. What it's going to do is we'll be able to float once these are dry. But look, wow. Now, did you guys see the fountain I did? I have to show you this. I did this was the first one I did with the Leonidas, however you say it, lion, the fountain. So let me show you. Here's another picture. I love this. I did it with the rust. It is just unbelievable. And of course, it's the wood arch. A bunch of the different molds and the rust patina kit, and it was just so much fun. Now, right, that is actually on my chicken coop, which is called Cluckingham Palace. The chickens, doesn't run all the time, but I did get a solar fountain, so now it runs with the sun, so I don't have to worry about plugging in. But look, all right, I'm going to try to hold this up, and please don't fall. Let me get full. Oh my goodness, you guys. What do you think? Okay. If you thought this was amazing, please let me know what you think. If you think it's okay, still let me know. Just let me know what you think. And do you think that I should do it in the patina, or should I do it like with the rust? I'm really partial to the rust, but I need to break away from the rust because all I ever do is rust. All right, let me put this back on so you can see it. Okay. I think it's safe to say that all of us are mad scientists in the art. Oh my gosh. Yes. Thanks. This is the most entertainment I've had all week. Loving it. Thank you for your sharing your skills. Oh, Michaela, you're so sweet. Beautiful. Amazing. Can't wait to the next part. So unique. Yeah, you know, I'm not like a lot of the other crafters. I mean, I am. You know, we all have our ideas, but sometimes my ideas work and sometimes they don't. But today, I guess, yes, Barbara, oh gosh, and Lori says rust, Barbara says patina. But I appreciate when you guys support my crazy decisions. Oh, Sharon, you're so sweet. I am digging this so much. But unfortunately, I don't think this is obviously not dry enough to paint. These are definitely not dry enough to paint. And the frame that it's going to sit on, oops, let me get this back, is definitely not ready. But, and I might not even need to use this frame, but I might. Question is should I leave it like this? Or do you think I would cast it in resin. I would not do in clay because the clay will break. Like maybe take one of these and put that on the bottom and put another one on the top. So it kind of looks more like this. Or should I just leave it in a circle? I guess we can decide once we start painting everything. But I need everything to dry. Dry. Patina because I have too much rusty stuff. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'll do the patina. I think it'll be a nice change. Oh, okay. Well, I'm super excited. So if you think maybe you might know somebody that would be interested in this little video, you can share it if you want. For creators like me, shares, likes, comments, all that helps. But I just appreciate you being here. I have my small dedicated tribe that always comes to support me, and I love it. Real quick though, I know you don't use Dixie Belle anymore, but can I ask a question about? Oh my gosh, I use Dixie Belle all the time. I love Dixie Belle. Dixie Belle is one of the best products, and I can't wait to use their bleach. Love Dixie Belle. Dixie Belle. I will forever use Dixie Belle. I use whatever I need to use when I need to use it. I'm one of those people that believes I don't have to stay with one product. If I want to have a all-in-one coat paint and maybe I don't want to use silk or I don't have the right color, I'll go to Fusion. Fusion's a great company too. I'm one of those that if I want a specific look, I'm going to use the right product. And Dixie Belle, their gel stains are amazing. I love it. Okay, so what's the question? Okay, leave it and let him be center stage. Okay, good. Amazing. Barbara, do I still sell Dixie Belle? I do not, but Michaela on here does. So Michaela, she is in the comments. You can hook up with her. I do have a couple things Dixie Belle, but I sold live it when I closed my business. But speaking of all of this, now that you say this, I forgot. I did do a couple of these. Solo. I have some mystery, not too mystery boxes. Like this is one, 2 painterlies, a milk paint, 4 fusions, the crackle, solvent, and a squeeze. That is a value of like $210. I have them on my website right now, and they are only $100 plus shipping. And I have another one. This one's an Annie Sloan one. There's 2 Annie Sloans, 1 wax, the colorist book, a milk paint, and 2 painterlies. And I'm only getting rid of these because I have too much. You love all the products that I ever carried. I never had a product that I didn't like. And if I did, I just didn't carry it anymore. But I have these. I'm going to link it. I'm going to put a comment in here. Let's see. This takes you to, there it is, mystery boxes. I only have 6 right now. I'm going to put some more together. One of them has some IOD stamps in them. I don't know. I'm just trying to minimize what I have here because I just have too much. And if I can help get rid of it by selling it to you at cost, then good. Okay, can I rinse everything in the sink? I'm worried about rusting my sink. No. Good question. Don't put any of this stuff that has a chemical reaction or a paste down your sink. So for instance, like when I mix the gesso with the 3D powder, no, don't put it down your sink. Any paste, don't put it down your sink. Rust, if you've already mixed the components, don't put it down your sink. If they're single components, you can as long as they don't touch because the patina only reacts when they touch each other. So what I do is right outside my studio here, I have a hose and I just rinse everything down and then I wash it because I have had buildup on one of my, because I wasn't really thinking about it. But yeah, definitely if it's crusty and it dries crusty and that, especially rust with your pipes, especially depending on what kind of pipes you have. If you have PVC, it'll be fine because they don't rust. But there's parts of the sink somewhere down that are metal, and you don't want to risk that. All right. Anything else? Okay, any questions? I just finished up. I'm working on crackles for Pentart, the fine line crackle. Some very important information if you're struggling with fine line. I have a great video on that. I did the classic crackle, random crackle, 1-part crackle, transparent gel crackle. I did all of them, but I'm just editing the videos now. So I put one up yesterday. I'll put another one up today and then tomorrow. And then Friday, I'm flying to Florida. Got to go see my son. My oldest son is there who's getting married in January. And then my baby son is there visiting from college. So I get to go see my boys Friday. So anyway, any other questions? You know, you don't always have to comment on here. If you send me a direct message, I always answer. You can message me, DM me, email me, whatever. I try to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, guys. So I'm just looking at this and, yeah, he's not perfect, but you know what? He's ours, right? All right, guys. Well, take care and let me know if you have any questions. And I'll be on again next Wednesday. And maybe I'll wait to finish this. What do you think? Should I wait next week to patina him up so you guys can do it with me? You can see the process. I know there's a little delay, so I'll wait a minute to see if you guys think that's a good idea. No comments coming through, so maybe everyone hung up. You're welcome, Sharon. So I guess maybe, yes, next Wednesday at noon, we'll finish this handsome little guy. And we need to come up with a name for him. All right, you guys.